I'm Sue Lynch and I play tenor sax, clarinet, flute, and if I have time I do a bit of composition, but I don't get loads of time for that really. I started on clarinet when I was at school because I really liked a lot of the trad jazz that I used to hear because it was being played a lot around me, you know, like a lot of the adults were playing that sort of British trad jazz, and I actually liked accabilk, so I bought a clarinet. But the clarinet teaching at school was a bit boring, really. So then I fancied something a bit more exciting and glamorous, so I bought myself a silver tenor saxophone. Yeah, well, I mean, I wasn't really playing like accabilk when I was doing sort of tune a day and listening to a lot of those sort of Jerome Kern tunes, like, I don't know, Smoke Gets in Your Eyes and something, because my parents really liked that sort of music. So I don't know, a lot of people seem to have sort of musical little get-togethers where the playing was not very good, but you did play, you know, and I know there was a lot of people playing accordions. I don't know, there seemed to be a lot of live music where I grew up. I grew up in Demouilpied in Wiltshire. We used to go and see a lot of the jazz going on in Bath and so on, you know. People just used to hold sort of impromptu little sessions of playing those trad tunes or those old time tunes. But I found it frustrating playing the music at school because it was sort of like St Anthony's Chorale. Tonight I'm playing with Adam Bohman, and I think we're working with Tom as well. Tom's another saxophonist, so I'm used to that trio of reeds and Adam, but I really like working with Adam, although I do find it quite a challenge because he's playing amplified objects. Sometimes it's quite hard to know which direction to take to work with what he's doing, but you know, he's like an orchestra in himself, you know, with the objects that he's got. So yeah, it should be interesting. I went to art college, and you won't remember me, Steve, but I was at Coventry College of Art, and I did used to go to the workshops there, which I really enjoyed. And I'd always had an interest in sort of unusual music. So by the age of 18, I was really starting to listen to a lot of jazz and Coltrane and free improvisation. So where my parents lived, in Devizes, I met some free improvisers, and we used to wander around my parents' garden in the 70s playing free improv. Anyway, so it was in Coventry College of Art that I saw yourself and David Toop, a lot of visiting artists coming, and I really liked what I heard, and I remember going to free improvisation workshop at Bracknell with Lowell Coxhill. But then I came to London and got involved in a sort of political jazz big band. And that took me into a particular direction for about 10 or 15 years. And I've taught myself to play. I've taught myself to play a lot of jazz standards. I do a lot of busking. I do a lot of professional jazz playing, but mainly for functions. And through that, underneath all of that, I've always been interested in free improvisation. And so in the last 6 years, with Adam Bohman and Hutch and Adrian, we formed the Horse Club. And through that, I've met more improvisers. And so I've become much more involved in something that I really liked doing anyway. Well, I met Hutch Demouilpied at Eddie Prevo's workshop because I'd been going there for about 10 years. And Adam had been coming around to our house to work with Adrian quite a lot, and I knew that he was looking for a venue. So I was quite interested in helping run a club. So me and Hutch started looking for places to hold a club, and I found this place, the Horse, and told Adam and said, let's try and start something here, you know. And so that was quite an exciting moment because we held our first club 6 years ago, and actually loads of people came. We were utterly shocked, you know, so. I've worked with Adam and Adrian with the Custodians. I worked with Hutch, the trumpet player. I'd done stuff with Eddie Prevo as well, but recently I've had ideas of working with a particular large ensemble of women using sort of electronics and horns, but and also working with Christabel Riley. I've been recording with her recently, doing a duo stuff. Trying to think, yeah, I formed this large ensemble called Paradise Yard, which is a slow-moving thing, but I'm quite interested in that, and that's got about 6 people in it, and mainly women improvisers. Well, actually, it's taken me a long time to feel comfortable, you know. It's a struggle. But the more I do it, the more experience I've got, the more I enjoy it, and the more I listen to things, the more ideas I've got. I suppose it's the things I don't like that draws me to free improvised music, in that I really like the freedom. At the same time, there's a lot of limitations, because if you play with too much freedom, you can get a bit stuck, really, you know, so it's trying to limit what you're doing as well as the freedom of it. When I was at art college, I very much, and after that, I very much illustrated and made posters for the projects that I was working on musically. And then I left that behind and ended up just trying to do painting to sell. But recently I've started to bring the painting, visual arts back into my music, and I'm starting to feel more of a link between the creative side of visual art and the improvised music. Seeing, you know, that a lot of the musicians whose work I really like listening to are all often visual artists as well, and I can see a sort of, you know, all starting to meet again, you know, and the link is a very interesting one. I think people find it hard to sort of let go to do free improvisation. On the other hand, maybe it's fine to be really uptight with it and really insecure, you know. But, you know, just keep going and going, and if you've got something inside, it will gradually come out, you know. It's quite a nice form of expression, really.